Tim Albright with AVNation at Infocomm 2018 with Paul Foschino from Ricoh. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
You guys have got an interesting concept down in your booth where you're focusing what you call on the meeting room technology, but not necessarily on the technology, but really you're focusing on the end user.
Absolutely.
Explain what that means.
Well, we've been developing product and putting a lot of technology into it over the past years. All of this has been designed and focused on the application, which is the meeting room and how people are going to use some of this technology to help them have a more productive meeting. The problem is, not just for us, but for a lot of manufacturers in this industry, is they design stuff with so much engineering, so much technology, that the learning curve is almost impossible for any user to get in front of the product and really get anything out of it. So what we've spent a lot of time doing and what we're really presenting today at the show is a better end user experience. So picture this. We've walked into meeting rooms, we've seen whiteboards hanging on the wall, and instead of them being turned on and being used, there are Post-it notes stuck on them because people can't figure out how to turn them on. We needed to address this problem because if we're going to move forward with the technology, we got to get the end user engaged. So what we have is two, which I feel are brilliant solutions. One is a little old school, the other is new. The old school one, you buy a whiteboard, interactive touch panel from Ricoh.
Yep.
Hang it up in your conference room. Your people walk in, and they maybe get an opportunity to use it once, twice a week or something like that, so they don't always remember how to collaborate, have one board turn on and work with another board and share content or connect up to video conferencing. So what do? They call the IT guy or they have to bring in an expert. Not anymore. We've put a button on the board that you touch for help. And when you touch that button, voila, a Ricoh tech support person shows up right in front of you.
Okay, hang on a minute. Where does that person come from, though?
We have a call center down in Tucker, Georgia, where these people have been trained on all of our products, and they're normally on the phone with people. But now we've set up a new group of people that are actually sitting in front of cameras. And when you touch that button and you ask for assistance, they come on and say, how can I help you?
So this is a Ricoh employee that they're going to be talking to via camera.
Yeah.
And you hit a button and it connects to them.
Yep.
That's incredible.
It is, and it's simple.
Yeah.
Right? It's the old call for help, but it's taken to another next step. So you have choices. Obviously, not everyone is going to want to see the person or have them see in, so you have the choice of using the camera or not. You could call in on a phone number if you want. That's available too, but the real concept is you have immediate support that can help you in two ways. One, it can talk you through the steps that you need to do to connect the boards up. Easy enough. Or, if you really don't want to have anything to do with it, you can allow them to actually get into your computer and mouse around and set it all up for you. So let's say I have 4 of the people I'd like to have join this meeting. We need to set up a Skype connection for them to actually meet up and talk with us. Done.
Wow.
The key here is we are saving the customer, the end user, money, because how much time is wasted in each meeting setting up your content, your material, getting your presentation ready, turning on the electronics, trying to figure out how to use it. We figure on an average it's probably about 15 minutes out of a 1-hour meeting. So that means you've lost valuable time. You've had your other participants sitting around doing nothing, and you really had something important that you wanted to tell them. Whether or not you'll get to all of it, you wasted too much time playing with the electronics. Let's take that out of the equation and let's get you up and running right away. Which brings me to the next part. We talked about the great, cool, old technology that we're using to support user interface. Now let's talk about a real future technology that's going to really help you get engaged. What does any company want out of any meeting, out of any group of employees that they have? They want productivity.
Yep.
They want people to come to work in the morning, be able to get everything done that they need to get done, and move on to the next project. That's a big task. It's hard to do and it's hard to achieve. So what we've introduced is something called Smooth Collaboration Service. Smooth Collaboration is a software that can be added into our whiteboards. Okay. It's incorporating a lot of technology that's existing out there in the world already. We've partnered with IBM for Watson technology that we're incorporating into this for voice activation and voice translation. We're working with tools that are already commonly used by the people that work there, like Microsoft, 10, and you have the 360 features of Outlook and all of these other great tools. Let's bring them all together in one place and make them really simple to use. So quickly, the way this works is you've got pre-meeting, you've got during the meeting, and you got post-meeting. Pre-meeting activity. If you're going to hold a meeting, you're going to have to set up the attendees and who you're going to invite, right?
Yeah.
You're going to select the meeting room that you want to go to, right? You're going to know that that meeting room has the Ricoh interactive whiteboard in it. So you send out your invite, you send out the content of information that you want to display during that, and you're ready to go at 10 o'clock in the morning. You show up at 10 o'clock, the board already knows that it's your meeting, you're the presenter, your content is loaded, and you're ready to go. You badge in with your company ID badge because you're activating the board and letting it know it's me. I'm the initiator of the meeting, and here are the participants that are in that meeting. So that was the pre-work that got you to the point where as soon as you walk in the door and start that meeting, you're ready to go.
Then how does that happen in the back end? Is that are you tying into
We're
Outlook?
tying
or
to
something?
Outlook.
Okay.
We're tying into a lot of the other technologies that are already existing there, but we're utilizing them to perform a function, and that is to create a smoother meeting experience. So consider that the pre-work. Now you're in the meeting. What do you want to happen during this meeting? You obviously have some information that you want to convey to the group of people that you've assembled. You want all of them to be able to walk away with an understanding of what you just talked about, what you collaborated on, and what's the takeaway?
Yeah.
What's your job? What's your task that you need each of these to do to follow through? All of that is captured during the meeting without you doing anything. The recording has started as soon as you turned on your meeting. So you're taking a voice transcription of everything that goes on.
Real quickly about that, is there a way to turn that function off
Oh, of course.
natively? Like, is it simply, is it something where you set that up in the meeting invite where you say, yes, I want it recorded, or is that something that you have to go in once you're in the meeting with the board?
You basically can set that up beforehand.
Okay.
So you know if you want this meeting to have a voice recording, capture all of the content of the slides that you're presenting. When I say capture it, I really mean capture it. I mean, while you're showing your presentation, you're annotating over it. So that's part of the beauty of the whiteboard that allows you to interact with it. So everything that you annotated on, all the comments that were made, all the people that spoke during that meeting and had comments, is not only captured in a voice recording, but also in text. At the end of this meeting, it already knows who the participants are. It will now email out to all the participants in that meeting the recording, the slides that you annotated on, and who said what. Now, let's take it one more step. You had lists of people that had tasks to do. You identified them on each of those slides, and you said, okay, Fred is going to take care of looking into the finances of this, and John is going to handle this over here. You assign them the task. You also assign a date as to when that task is due, and as part of that meeting notes that come out, your job requirement for following up and the time that it's due is also included there. So you have a absolute, here's what the setup of the meeting was, here's what happened in capturing all the content, information, and things to do during the meeting, and after the meeting, you've now emailed everything to people. You have a follow-up meeting to that, you still have a record of that first meeting.
Yeah.
So John can never say, no, you didn't tell me to do that. Yes, I did, and let's bring it up and look at the date that was due.
Yeah. When you talk with dealers, how do you educate them, honestly, on selling a solution like this? Because there's a lot of moving pieces here, there's a lot of parts to it. How do you educate them to take this to their clients?
Well, we don't do it so much through dealers, we do it direct.
Okay.
Ricoh has a huge customer base, people that we have been partnering with and working with for 50, 80 years, some of them. And that relationship was built over products like printers, copiers, but it moved on to a lot of managed services and other solutions that we can provide the customer. So we have already a rapport, a deep relationship, and an ongoing partnership with a lot of the customers that we have, and these are large enterprise customers.
So you're educating them directly then?
Yeah, we have our own direct salespeople that are going to be out there talking to them and offering them a wide variety of solutions that Ricoh can bring in. The AV component is one of the newest. It's one of the reasons I was brought into Ricoh, to try to help them come along with a lot of these new technologies like interactive whiteboard displays and projectors and video conferencing. There are so many new tools made available to the end user that they could use to help create a much more productive meeting in a shorter period of time, but we need the right people to be able to let them know what has to happen, and we need to also convince them that you're not going to have to take your team of marketing people or finance people and convert them into audio engineers in order to use it. We've already addressed that for you.
All right, very good. If somebody's interested in finding out more about this product or the rest of Ricoh's offerings, how do they do that?
Well, if you're fortunate enough to be here at Infocomm, stop by the booth. We're at N2034, and it's set up with all of our boards on display, an example of how we work with smooth collaboration. We have a Watson display going on. So all of these elements can be brought together in one place and show you the workflow experience. But if you're not and you'd like to find out more about us, go to our website, ricoh-usa.com. And you can find out some of this. Some of this is so new it's not even up there on the website yet. But we'll be talking a lot more about it in the future.
Very good, Paul from Ricoh. My name is Tim Albright. For more information about us and more videos from Infocomm 2018, go by the website, avnation.tv. That's avnation.tv.